master shooting at these foolish rappers. Long as I'm the number one, I don't care who come after. When I came from Africa, they call me booty scratcher. Now they scream a nigga name when I say who's the
What's up, people? Welcome back to the BCMA podcast. That's the Black Clover Martial Arts podcast. It's your boy Lucky from Lucky's Muay Thai, and this is episode number 68. Shout out to my boy Mayak the Great for that song, that new intro song and exit song. That song is called The Shogun. Go check him out, Mayak the Great, MAICDAGREAT. Go find him. He's the dope shit. In this show, we're going to talk Jon Jones, and what do we find out from that fight with Gane? Usman versus Edwards 3 is this weekend. I'm looking forward to seeing that. It's going to be a fantastic rematch, so we'll talk about that. Rafael Fiziev versus Justin Gaethje. This should just be an episode in violence. I don't think we need to say much more about it than that. It's going to go down. Merab, I'm going to mess this name up. Merab Divashvili. No, I did that wrong. Divalishvili. I still got it wrong, but nonetheless, that dude had 49 takedown attempts. I'll leave that for later. Also, he did it against Peter John. It wasn't against some scrub. Last but not least, I guess we'll talk a little bit about growth, because I feel like I'm having a little stagnant moment in jiu-jitsu, but I'll explain that when we get there. If you like the show, tap the like, hit the subscribe button, tell a friend, pass it along. Make sure you hit the notification bell if you want to hear these when they drop and you don't have to wait until they come across your feed. If you want to stop by the gym, hit us up at www.luckysmt.com. You can hit me up directly at Lucky's Muay Thai on Instagram. You can also hit up Roberto Carrero if you want to try out the jiu-jitsu program. He's a fantastic instructor. You can hit him up at CarreroBJJ on Instagram. Come on, man. Come get in shape. Come train. Come meet some people and come learn something. You got nothing else going on, man. I mean, how many parties can you go to, honestly? I guess you can go to a lot. But when that's all done, you're still going to need us. So come see us. Get in shape. Learn something. Try some Muay Thai. Try some Jiu-Jitsu. And we're looking forward to meeting you. See you soon. Okay, I guess we're going to talk about Jon Jones first. What did we learn from his fight with Gane? Nothing. I mean, I didn't learn anything. What did I learn? From the moment the body lock was applied, Cyril didn't really fight the hands. When they were against the cage, he didn't really fight the hands. When he sat on his butt with that, we'll just call it it wasn't even a choke. It wasn't a guillotine at that point. It was just sort of a head and arm, or a head. He just was holding him. And if you watch that, when the camera's on him, Cyril's arms are literally just by his sides. Not attempting to try to fight the hands, not attempting to use I mentioned to somebody about, how he's so technical and all this stuff, and John's technical and all these guys. But at some point, there is a point where your strength is also part of your offense and part of your weapon. And I would say he could have taken that opportunity to use that to try to throw Jon off, do something to change the trajectory of that fight. But as far as I'm concerned, Cyril didn't do anything. He didn't fight. What did I learn from Jon? Jon's Jon. He's going in there to kick your ass. And if you're not prepared and you don't fight back, you're going to get your ass kicked. And that's all I got about that, man. You didn't really learn a lot. The fight didn't last very long. So hopefully we get Stipe next and we'll actually see a fight. And I like Cyril. It's a damn shame. All right, we have Usman versus Edwards 3 this weekend. And look, man, that last fight was great. Usman was fantastic throughout the entire fight. And Leon was dejected, but he wasn't done. And I think if you look, at how his coach brought him out of it, I mean, it wasn't a pep talk. This is just the way coaches talk in corners, man. They got to get their fighter working. And they got to tell him stuff like, stop feeling sorry for yourself. The fight's still going on. I tell people this in the gym a lot of times, not to focus on the mistake that you just made. Obviously, you don't want to make it again. But if you continue to focus on all those things going on, you're going to miss what's coming next. And I think, if you're not laying on your back, looking up at the lights, talking to the ref or your family for that matter, or your coaches, and like, what happened? Then you're still there and you're still in the fight. And before the 5th round, Leon Edwards was still in the fight. And if you ask me, the first thing I noticed was he was still had a little snappy snap on his punches and on his kicks. Like he looked like he still had some pop on him. So Yeah, I was surprised as anybody else, but I wasn't surprised that he still had the pop enough to do that. I mean, obviously it's a head kick, but even throwing a head kick when you're exhausted, you know, it doesn't do the same kind of damage, obviously. But he had the presence of mind to set it up and the presence of mind to finish it and the strength and will to get it done. So for a third fight, you couldn't ask for better. This is going to be great. I can't wait to see it. Who else is on this card? Oh, Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev, and which is like I said, it's going to be an episode in violence. And what I love about it this time is like, you know what Justin Gaethje brings, and you know that when guys fight him, they're often not really in the same mindset. They want to beat him, and they know he's going to bring the shit to them. Well, I'm cursing a lot this episode. Must be the new digs. But the reality is, Fiziev is like similar, and he wants the violence. So these two are going to clash. I mean, I'm assuming it's going to be a stand-up battle. But, you know, and even the wrestling, I mean, Justin doesn't like to wrestle. This could be a banger, man. This could be a banger. Oh, on the Usman Edwards 3, let me know in the comments, you know, who do you think is going to win? And also, is Usman going to wrestle more? Like, is he really going to, is he going to pull a Merab, which we'll talk about next? He's going to get like 25 takedown attempts or something? Like, I don't know. But I'm looking forward to the fight this weekend. That's about all I'm going to say about it. I'm stoked to see it. Let's talk about Merab. I'm going to try it again. Dvalishvili. I know I said it wrong. I don't care. Versus Peter Yan. I'm going to give you one stat, which I said earlier. And that's the end of the conversation about it. 49 takedown attempts. 49 takedown attempts. You cannot muster up enough time to get into a rhythm of offense if somebody is constantly shooting at you. Constantly. I mean, you're not getting an opportunity to even set your legs good, and he's back shooting again. Also, that number is outlandish. I've even heard some commentators and some vloggers or whatever say that they're suspicious. I'm not suspicious. It is what it is. Until they bust him, it is what it is. But 49 takedown attempts? That seems crazy. Listen, shout out to Jose Aldo for doing everything he could in his fight, because he stuffed a lot of that stuff. He stood there and tried to bang with him and kept him from taking him down. But good Lord, he didn't try to take him down 49 times. How do you set your feet? Dude, I don't know, man. And I don't know how you stop it. I don't know if he's going to be able to repeat that ever again. That's one of those things where you're like, well, I don't know if, what does he go out and get 50? Really? 50 takedown attempts? He only had 11 takedowns out of that 49. So he's just shooting to be shooting, it felt like a lot of times, right? Obviously, there's a game plan around it. He's trying to get takedowns, but he's also trying to make Peter Yan have to deal with the takedowns. And he goes out and gets 50 takedowns. What are we talking about anymore? Can you even fight somebody like that? Anyway, onward. Okay, so we're talking growth. Mostly because my jiu-jitsu has been a little weird lately. Like, I monitor it. I don't know, I'm sure a lot of people do monitor everything they do. But I'm feeling like I'm here. I'm just sort of in this space. And I'm not hitting the same moves. I'm not even trying to really do the things that I do normally. And I don't know why that is. I'm assuming that I'm in this, this valley before the rise again. But, I think this is a mirror image of what people go through in life, and stagnancy. Is that a word? I don't know. But being stagnant in life. And sometimes we get into this space where everything seems to be just running together. We don't seem to be going down any, but we don't seem to be rising at any as well or either. And we're stuck. And it's terrible, man. It can cause depression. You get anxious, like a lot of different things. But, I think a couple of ways to deal with it. But the first one is just recognize that it's happening. That you're just in a place where things aren't moving necessarily at a pace that you want. And that is okay. Everything doesn't move the way you want it to. once you do that, you can take a deep breath, sort of, evaluate. Then you can decide whether or not you're just going to ride the wave. Because sometimes the stuff, it changes on its own, right? And sometimes you just got to kind of ride that wave of everything just flowing. Listen, it's not a bad thing if everything's just going. Things could also be going terribly wrong. So it's not a bad thing. And listen, if you're desperate to like get to these destinations and these goals and, you need change now, well, guess what? You got to change it yourself. I mean, that doesn't mean anything crazy. Maybe it's just your sleeping habits, your eating habits. Maybe it's just, the things that you're doing in your off time. Maybe it's the things you're doing at work. One way or the other, if you want some things, if you want to get out of that stagnant feeling, you got to make some very simple changes. And I think you already know what they are. I couldn't tell you. I don't live your life. But we all know when we're not sleeping enough, not eating enough, eating too much, sleeping too much, being too lazy, being overly active, which I get accused of quite a bit. It's up to you, man. Get out there and do it. We all love you, whoever you are, right? And I hope that you can all make changes for yourselves and keep moving forward, upward, and onward. I love y'all, man. I hope you enjoy the shows. New digs. This is more of a test episode, kind of to see how things are working out. So far, so good. Doesn't look bad. We'll see how the recording goes. Anyway, if you like the show, keep the like, hit the subscribe button, tell a friend, tap that notification if you want to hear when these drop immediately, or when I drop some other content, which I do at times. If you want to stop by the gym, www.luckysmt.com. We'll be waiting to see you for your trial class. If you like it, we'll sign you up. We'll get you in there regularly. We'll teach you some Muay Thai. If you want to learn some Jiu-Jitsu, you can talk to Roberto. Hit him up at Carrero BJJ. We're just looking to make you grow, and we're looking to grow with you. So we'll see you there.
Peace. And they change him to a villain when the system's been set up by racists trying to kill him. I just wanna live my life and make a couple million.